Hello everyone. Well, my passion for music started from a very young age. It started when I was about 6. It was exactly when I joined a singing club, and one of my favorite teachers told me that he was impressed by my talent, which was very motivating for me. That made me feel gifted and increased my self-esteem, and that's what kept me going. Eventually, music became my primary hobby, but it didn't just stop there. It also affects me in many other ways. It decreases my anxiety and stress and makes me feel better about myself. It heals my soul and helps me forget all my problems and see the world from another perspective. At times, it works as an escapade or getaway ticket from reality. It's like music has become my therapy. Unfortunately, though, this aspect of music is not highly appreciated by people in my community. The majority considers music something only related to festivities and celebrations. However, I think you would all agree that it means so much more than that. Indeed, music has served specific purposes ever since the beginning of time. If we take, for example, a look at music traditions in several cultures, we find out that it served as a form of entertainment in its earliest forms. Composers throughout the world have written pieces to be performed in front of audiences in amphitheaters, like the Gem Colosseum, which dates back to Roman Empire. It also served religious rituals like funerals in certain regions in Africa, national or communal announcements or declarations of wars, as in the Vikings era, and the list goes on. It's also not rare for certain countries to appropriate some of their composers' masterpieces in order to represent a national identity in the form of a national anthem. In contemporary times, music decorates the daily life. We may encounter music randomly while doing activities as diverse or banal as cooking, exercising, shopping, and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until very recently that music has become considered for medical and therapeutical purposes. And it wasn't until very recently that music has become considered for medical and therapeutical purposes. There have been many studies by scientists that have proven its impact on the human brain. The famous neuroscientist and violin player Dr. Kiminobu Sagaya dedicated a huge part of his research to investigate the relationship between the human brain and music. His findings show that music not only impacts brain function, but also human behavior such as reducing stress, pain, or symptoms of depression. He even demonstrated how people with diseases such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's respond positively to music. Usually in the late stages, Alzheimer's patients are unresponsive, Sugaya says. But once you put in the headphones that play their favorite music, their eyes light up. They start moving and sometimes singing. The effect lasts maybe 10 minutes or so, even after you turn off the music. This can be seen on an MRI where lots of different parts of the brain light up, he adds. What's more is that our brain is not the only part of our body that interacts with and reacts to music. That our brain is not the only part of our body that interacts with and reacts to music. The human body is innately rhythmical, and according to Mercedes Pavlicevic, the South African writer who specializes in music therapy, our body members and brain dance together with elegant precision. And all human beings walk, breathe, gesture, and speak within the same range of rhythms. That's why when we are exposed to music, we don't really need much effort to know how to react to it. Our bodies and brains immediately detect its meaning and produce reactions, whether physically like dancing or even psychologically like a sudden change of mood. In addition, a human's relationship is not only one-sided. Our bodies we are not only affected by music, but we can also use it as a means of self-expression. That's why in many schools of the world, music is used to help children explore their feelings, as at a certain age, it might be hard for them to express themselves verbally. They are encouraged to learn songs in order to express how they feel and let out all uncommunicated emotions. In a nutshell, music is not merely a form of art. It is a tool of communication and a therapeutical tool. In other words, it's a universal language and a cure for souls. It's an art beyond words. Well, it was such a pleasure being with you today. Thank you all for having me.